singer-songwriter Jon Mullane and replays one of his most talked-about interviews. All coming up on Weekend Magazine.
Canadian singer-songwriter from Halifax, Nova Scotia, joining us on Weekend Magazine, Jon Mullane. Jon, welcome to Weekend Magazine.
Thanks, Sean. Glad to be here, man.
Good to catch up with you. How are things?
Things are good. Very, very, very busy at this time of year for me, and it's all good.
You've been at this now for over 20 years, and has it gone by fast, Jon?
It sure has. I can't believe that my first album came out in 1991. And I guess I'll think of it as 20 Christmases ago. That puts it in perspective.
Wow, 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, you've seen a lot of changes. I mean, back then it was, let's get it out on a record or a CD, and now let's get it on iTunes, right? It's
so much. I mean, it's so quickly, and especially in the last 5-6 years, I think things have changed so quickly. When I first, my first record was on CD, and I think it came out in a cassette tape version as well. LPs had gone by the wayside by then, but yeah, we've seen format changes, and with the internet and downloading now, it's just a whole different world.
You know, they say it's such a tough business, the Canadian recording business, for bands and solo artists out there. Why do people like yourself, you know, when you hear that, Jon, why do you continue to stay? It's your passion?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. I hear that a lot, too, but I don't see it as that. I don't see it as tough. I think that if you see it as tough, you're going to get tough. And I see lots of opportunities. Sure, there's lots more people doing it now because it's so open to all people, but there are so many opportunities in music right now. And, you know, getting played on the radio is great, but it's only one aspect. Sales are just one aspect. There's film and TV placements. There's all kinds of ways to get music out. So I prefer just to kind of, yeah, it's my passion, and I'm moving along this road, and I see it as a land of opportunity.
Yeah, well, you had Make You Move,
yeah,
was involved at the Summer Olympic Games in 2008. NBC didn't hurt to have them in your back pocket promoting that song.
That really set off a whole chain of events for that song, and since that time, it went on to become the theme for the World Canoe Championships.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of other different things like that. It got placed in. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. You know, it's a big world out there, and music can get out there in different ways, and it's great.
Yeah. So your advice then to young musicians that are listening: don't quit because somebody else told you you'll never make a living at it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there's you know, most people will say that have tried themselves and failed.
Yeah.
So I'd say just go for it. Just be smart about it. You know, learn the business and know what's out there, and just go after it and really, you know, give it 100%.
Yeah. Now, when you were a kid growing up in the East Coast, and did you take music lessons? Did Mom and Dad get you involved with guitar and piano and that kind of thing?
Not really. I mean, I was really a sports kid until I was 12 or 13. A big tennis guy, hockey and all that stuff. But then I discovered music and girls that liked music, and I just hooked. And so I was kind of self-taught. I took a few voice lessons to kind of preserve my voice, because rock singing is pretty hard on the voice.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, pretty well self-taught.
Now, is the lifestyle a little different now that you are a mature Canadian artist, Jon? Than when you started? You talk about the rock era, and was a lot of late nights, that kind of stuff. Is it true to what we believe it to be?
Yes and no. I mean, most of the time you spend, you're not performing. You're either driving or sitting or waiting or practicing, or these days on the computer or whatever it is. But there is lots. You know, there's some parties. There's late nights. I used to do a lot of more clubs than I do now, and we'd be playing till 3:30 in the morning in the clubs sometimes. So it's got its glamour moments, but it's not as many as people may think.
Yeah, it's not maybe for the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger might have a different story, right?
He might, but I don't know. I hear he's a health guy these days, so he's probably in bed right after the show.
Yeah. Now you have a song out at Christmas. It's called Christmas Time. Show the world you care. I love it. It's starting to certainly get a lot of interest now in the country, and we're just over a week from Christmas. Tell us about this song and what's the inspiration behind it.
Well, as you know, I'd had some success at radio with some songs in the last few years, and I was encouraged to write a Christmas song. And the only way I would want to do that is an original song that has sort of, a bit of a rock pop element. I was approached by an amateur songwriter here in Halifax, and he had the idea took the idea and it developed it. And really, it's kind of about, you know, being grateful for what you've got and realizing that there's other people in need at this time of year, and just, you know, to either help out or think about that, and not just about, you know, the consumerism of you know, Christmas that kind of tends to take us over sometimes.
Well, it's a great song with a strong message, and I love the melody. It's beautiful.
Thanks. You know, we call it like a bit of an earworm. You know, it gets in your head, and you kind of can't get it out of your head.
Yeah.
That's always been my litmus test of whether, you know, it's a good song or not.
Well, we appreciate this, John. Thanks for being a good friend of Quinte Broadcasting, and it's always good to hear from you, and your work is appreciated. And this is a Christmas time. Show the world you care. Jon Mullane. Where can folks get more info off you, John?
My website at jonmullane.com, and it's JONMULLANE.com. It has all my social media links right on my website. The new music video is up on there, and on YouTube, and there's all kinds of info on there.
There you go. Here's the Christmas song from John. You have yourself a great Christmas, and Happy New Year.
Same to you, Sean.
Your shopping's done. Have you found the perfect gift? Decorating the tree. Soon you'll have all the family coming home. Under the mistletoe, you give a kiss and it brings a smile. We sit and we talk by the fire. At Christmas time, there we find there's a glow in the frosted window, and we see the lights. It's the time for Christmas. It's everywhere. It's Christmas, won't you show the world you care at Christmas time? It's a wonderful time of year, a time for love, a time to share. When somebody's all alone, try reaching out, say a little prayer. There's a glow show, and we'll see the lights. It's the time for Christmas. It's in the air. It's the time for Christmas. Won't you show the world you care at Christmas time? Let's fill the world with love this Christmas. Celebration is for all to share. Soon be time for Christmas, a time we all can share. Soon be time for Christmas. It's everywhere. Soon be time for Christmas. Won't you show the world you care at Christmas time? Christmas time. It's Christmas time. You care at Christmas time.
The clock is ticking.